Hello beloveds, my name is Evonne from Embody Mother and welcome to the cycle report for the 1st of May 2019. I come to you from Dja Dja Wurrung country in Central Highlands, Victoria, Australia in the Southern Hemisphere. So we are at a very potent point in the Earth cycle right now. So yesterday, the 30th of April, marked the traditional date for Halloween or Samhain. The 6th of May, next Monday, will mark the astrological date, so the exact point between autumn equinox, which was in March, and winter solstice, which is the longest nighttime hours we have for the whole year before the Earth turns around again and starts getting brighter. Down here in the Northern Hemisphere, they're in high spring, so Beltane, which is the third and final fertility festival before they move into summer solstice. But here we are in the deep descent, the point before, the last point before winter solstice. So, the third and final harvest, the first harvest being Lammas, which was the start of February, the second harvest, which was autumn equinox in March, and here we are, the third and final harvest. It's like the rose hip of, if we were looking at a rose as the earth cycle, you start off with this little bud and then you move into this beautiful Valentine's rose that you could almost dive right in. And then the mother rose, which is full out there with all its petals out. And then the Marga rose, which is, the petals are starting to fall off and they're a little drooping, but the most potent smelling rose of the whole rose cycle. And then here we are in the rose hip, the crone of the whole rose cycle. The crone that holds the whole stories in her body, or the old man that holds the stories of a whole life cycle within their bodies. They're the storytellers, and we need to hear those stories of the wisdom that what we need, the medicine, because within that rose hip are the seeds for the next generation of roses that come through. So, it's like the crone that holds all the stories to tell for the next generation to come through. So it's a really, really important point of the year. It's also a time of the year to be really, really grateful and really appreciating what we have, being the third and final harvest, and giving great thanks for the year cycle of what has brought to us, and to really take those seeds, the gratitude and appreciation, the joy of what we have, and saying thank you to this rain that's falling down this land. It needs it so much, and really hold that, because they're the seeds that we take with us to the next earth cycle. So if we can hold our harvest in joy, that's only going to be great seed collecting for the next 12 months to come, and to hold us in this deep descent, to nourish us and to feed us, and to really taking that, going back to the rose hip, the vitamin C, the medicine to take us into the dark and out again. So it is also the point of where the veils are the thinnest. It's the time of the death and the letting go. So letting go of not longer serves. And it's also the point where we are closest, where the veils are the thinnest between us and the ancestors. So, a couple of weeks ago, I have the absolute privilege of attending David Floor's intensive ancestral healing workshop. And in that workshop, we touched base with the healed and well ancestors. And we asked them to help us heal. And for my ancestors, they were very clear that wasn't for me to do, but to heal the ancestral lineage between the well and healed ancestors and us. So we have this clear lineage of information coming through to help us, guide us, and what we need to bring and to help us live a really well and happy life. And also to remember, I think it's important to remember at this point too, is that we too will be ancestors, and for the great-great-great-grandchildren coming in, and when they are asked, what did you do to ensure that we had a healthy planet and so we could live in harmony and peace, what did you do about it? Because we're at a critical point. And the good thing about critical points is it's a point of change. Something's going to give. It's either humanity keeps living in healthy ways and we flourish and go for it, or we all die. That's where we're at. So we have a choice. So it's important to remember that we too are ancestors and will be ancestors, which is, awesome to think. So give great thanks and call in your well and healed ancestors. And for me, it was like when I did that, all I felt was just love and kisses all over my body from the grandmothers and the grandfathers coming in close and standing presence and holding me with such love. So it was really, really cool to call in your well and healed ancestors, because they're there wanting us to connect with them and to guide us. And so, for the great grandchildren coming in. So this is the time, this is the point where the veils are the thinnest. The moon at the moment, also a balsamic moon. So we're in a really, really potent time where the veils of the thinnest of the earth is lining up with the moon cycle. And it's all about the letting go. They saw the last little bit of the moon, the little slither, the witch's moon. And from here we move into the dark moon. So the dark moon is on Saturday, this coming Saturday, where we let go of all that no longer serves. And then on Sunday, which is the new moon, we call in the seeds. What do we want to plant for the next moon cycle? Which is such, I can't stress enough how important it is here that we are in this point in time. I am personally on day 15, and how that has looked with this dark moon is that I was bleeding on the full moon, which felt like, whatever you start the cycle with is what brings you in. So with this ovulating energy, but bleeding on the full moon, I feel like actually really zapped, and that all my energy was spent on that full intensive moon. And here we are at this dark moon and ovulating and feeling actually really tired in my body. But it's a good place to be, because this weekend I'm going down to the Victorian Four Seasons journey from the School of Shamanic Womancraft to do our dark moon gathering, where we connect with our dark goddess and see what she has to say, or what we need to bring in to help us sit in this space and to look at our shadows and then bring them up so we can heal and step into being fully human in this wild, unbelievably amazing world that we live in. So that is it for me. I'm going to go inside because it is absolutely pouring down with rain, which is so good from a very parched land. I hope from my heart to your heart that you are looking at all the joy of your harvest, and you are collecting those joyous harvest seeds to take into this void space. From so much love from my heart to your heart. Thank you for listening. Bye.